जिगत लपगतम घन सुंदरम.
Occupying center stage in the Indian Himalayas are the towering ramparts of the Garhwal Himalaya. Great peaks like Trishul, Shivling, Kamet and Nandadevi stand girdled by the mighty rivers that water northern India. In strong contrast to other areas in the Himalayas, where there are a large number of intermediate ranges, in Garhwal, the Great Himalaya rises sharply from the lower hills without any intermediate ranges of more than 3,000 meters. Beyond lies Gomuk, the birthplace of the holy Ganga, and the meeting point, according to mythology, of heaven and earth. The Ganga, most sacred of India's rivers, and harbinger of life to millions of people living along its course, rises like the four Kailash rivers on the north side of the Great Himalayas and cuts its way through a range of over 7,000-meter high peaks, especially striking for their incredible steep white granite cliffs. Here we find leucogranites, the youngest of the granite rocks, which intruded into the Himalayas as they gained maturity in a fantastic burst of upliftment. As the mountains arose, the rivers began their cutting action, and here in Garhwal, the topography bears the imprimatur of the various source streams of the Ganga. At the same time, the Ganga rules the hearts and minds of all those who struggle into this remote fastness. The Ganga has three main source streams, the Alaknanda, the Bhagirathi and the Mandakini. And the headwaters of the three are the major pilgrimage centers of Badrinath, Gangotri and Kedarnath respectively. Garhwal has thus been the destination through the millennia of the devout, and they have come on foot from all corners of India. Modern times and the extension of the road network have led to Badrinath and Gangotri being put on the road map, though Kedarnath still has to be approached on foot. Garhwal can thus truly be called the pilgrim trail, the very sacredness of the area seeming to impart a singular, single-mindedness of purpose to all one sees. Garhwal is the destination of the day, not only for pilgrims, but also legions of mountaineers and trekkers drawn to the great 40-mile-long conglomeration of peaks and glaciers that give rise to the various source streams of the Ganga. Nilkant, overlooking Badrinath, and Shivling, near Gomuk, are probably two of the most graceful and perfectly shaped mountains in the entire Himalayas. Shivling, with its near vertical white granite walls and its summit cap of black slate evokes awe and wonderment among all who have the fortune to gaze upon it. Curving around and past is the boulder and rubble-strewn expanse of the great Ganga Glacier, the 30-kilometer-long river of ice that has kept the Ganga supplied for millennia. Here is a vast 60-kilometer-long conglomeration of peaks and glaciers. This is what the view would be like, seen from outer space on an ideally clear day. Along its middle course, the Bhagirathi has incised wide valleys linked by narrow gorges. Touch the river here and you touch the sea, said the poet. Ironic really, for this is the medieval town of Old Tihri, soon to be deluged under a man-made sea once the controversial Tihri Dam is commissioned. Lower Garhwal is already in the throes of an ecological crisis brought about by centuries of deforestation and the explosive extension of cultivation. Returns, however, are decreasing because the denuded topsoil has no anchors left with the virtual disappearance of the forests. The hills of Lower Garhwal are facing an invasion of lantana, originally a South American import and now growing over vast tracts of land here. Though the butterflies seem to enjoy it, lantana is of not much use to either man or beast. Its thick foliage makes it very difficult for animals to move through, and the wood is of no use to man. Though scientists at the Indian Institute of Technology at Delhi have found out ways to use lantana as fuel wood. Hopefully, this would reduce the pressure on our surviving forests. There is only one conceivable point of view to which the disappearance of the Himalayan forests would make no difference. On the geological time scale, it would only mean a change of perhaps a few million years in the time it took the Himalayas to succumb to the forces of erosion. But to the people living within the period the forest disappeared, it would mean an entirely different world. Without their roots, the soil will crumble. Without their leaves, it would lose fertility and become sterile. Without their shade, the summers are hotter, and without wood, the winters colder. Soon the climate changes, and with these trees gone, the land becomes a desert. Splendid mixed forests with species such as oak, maple, walnut, rhododendron earlier existed over large tracts of land in this area. Centuries of terrace farming, cultivation, grazing, etc. have reduced these magnificent forests to small isolated pockets like this one above Joshimath. Himalayan areas offer some crazy contrasts. In the trans-Himalayan areas, where there never have been trees, people are frantically planting them. Whereas here, we are busy cutting them down. Garhwal, as previously mentioned, has been for millennia a pilgrim's destination par excellence. Through the centuries, pilgrims struggled through this remote fastness, many dying en route. The extension of the rail and road network in the past few decades has, however, brought about a sea change in the situation, with pilgrim traffic increasing 100-fold. Compounded with the ever-increasing number of hikers and trekkers, the situation has become alarming in recent years, with fragile, high-altitude ecosystems hanging in the balance. A recent study at the Indian Mountaineering Foundation has come up with the astonishing conclusion that Gangotri is the most polluted area in the Himalayas today. The yearly influx of nearly 1 lakh pilgrims, 15 to 20,000 trekkers, and nearly 100 expeditions attempting to climb various peaks in the area have severely strained the natural resources of this quaint little hamlet situated at an altitude of 10,000 feet. The effect of this influx on a tiny place like Gangotri is mind-boggling. Tons of rubbish, garbage, and solid waste are regularly dumped into the very source of the Ganga. The effect is even more pronounced at Gomuk, where the Ganga emerges from the great Gangotri glacier. The destruction of the high-altitude juniper and Bhojpatra forests for firewood follows as a natural consequence to the fuel and heat needs of so many visitors. The mountaineering community has initiated some efforts to combat the menace of pollution in the Gangotri region. The Indian Mountaineering Foundation has asked all expeditions to collect as much garbage as possible and deposit it with the Mountaineering Institute at Uttarkashi. Awards have been initiated for expeditions bringing in the maximum amount of rubbish. However, this is just a drop in the bucket, as the number of climbers visiting this area do not exceed 700 to 800 annually. What is required is a sustained program to educate the local people as well as visiting pilgrims on environmental do's and don'ts. This can be best done by giving lectures, issuing pamphlets and leaflets printed in various languages on buses coming up from Rishikesh to the Gangotri region. However, what is imperative is that something be done. Governmental intervention is also urgently required to draw up plans and bylaws to limit ugly, haphazard, and ecologically damaging constructions, not only in Gangotri, but in the Badrinath and Kedarnath regions as well. Furthermore, public conveniences and garbage disposal facilities have to be located well away from the river. All this is necessary to protect and preserve these areas for future generations of Indians. The Uttar Pradesh government, after much expense and effort, has developed ski slopes at Oli with the requisite infrastructure of ski lifts and all. However, within a year of commissioning, we are told this lift is not operational due to maintenance problems. A sorry state of affairs indeed, because now this infrastructure is just a static blot on this landscape. What Jerusalem and Mecca are to their votaries, the Garhwal Himalaya is to the millions of Hindus who converge here from all parts of the country. Those who have never ever been to a hill station in their lives struggle up to 14,000 feet through primitive infrastructure and inclement weather. What motivates them?
मेरा नाम रविंद्र किशोर पहाड़ी है। मैं संबलपुर उड़ीसा से आया हूँ।
आप अपने आप को सन्यासी मानते हैं?
नहीं नहीं, I am a householder. I am a householder.
You have a family?
Oh yes, I have a family.
Who all are in your family?
My parents, father, mother, and my kids, my brothers, my sisters.
Your wife?
And my wife, and a lot of here. My farm, my cat.
What do you do?
Well, I do farming.
You do farming?
I do farming also. And mainly I work in Gramya Bank, Balangir Gramya Bank.
And what brings you here to Gomuk?
I've come to Gomuk to see my mother here, great-grandmother.
How do you see your great-grandmother here?
My great-grandmother was telling that Mother Ganga was her mother. So naturally, this is my mother.
What do you think of besides your mother, your great-grandmother, when you think of the Ganga, when you think of the Himalayas?
Beyond thinking, it's real. One feels it. Words I can't express. It is simply beyond words.
Why have you come to Gomuk particularly?
In fact, I've got a motive coming here. I have come to bring water from Mother Ganga to wash my mother's feet.
Why?
That was a dream in me that I am fulfilling.
How did you come here?
By foot. From Sambalpur to Cuttack. From Cuttack by Nilachal Express to Delhi. From Delhi by bus to Rishikesh. There's Santikunj, I stayed there in Santikunj. Then up to here. Then from by feet.
How do you resolve your religious inclination as well as your family responsibilities?
Well, family responsibility itself is a religion I am fulfilling. A good.
I don't think you have to be a sadhu to be a very religious person.
I don't find. A householder is also a good sadhu. A good householder is also a sadhu.
You don't need to renounce anything.
But with such a world, it's a wonderful world, why should one renounce? The earth, the wind, this place, why should one renounce?
Don't you feel cold in the icy waters of the Ganga?
It is very sweet, very sweet. The cold itself is very sweet. Sometimes pains are pleasures in life, and pleasures become real pains in life also. So this cold is really very, very, very sweet, very, very sweet. One feels in the lap of one's mother.
Tell us some more of your thoughts about the Ganga.
Yes, we have got a poet, Gangadhar Meher, in Orissa. Shall I sing a song? Thapibaku tumbha murati mokyudra hridayare nahi sthana sarsapa garabhe rahiki parai Himalaya sanu mana Vishwa jivana he तुम्भंकु करुणा सिंधु बोलिबाकु मन बलु नाही जेणु सिंधु तव कृपा बिंदु. In English. Oh my Lord, I can't. हमको आपको करुणा के सिंधु बोलते हुए शर्म आता है, क्योंकि ये संसार के सारे सिंधु आपके करुणा के एक बिंदु है, और आपके मूर्त हमारे हृदय में थापने के लिए जगह नहीं है, क्योंकि ये इतनी बड़ी हिमालय को कोई सरसों का एक बूंद एक सरसों के अंदर क्या इतने बड़े हिमालय को थाप सकता है? ऐसे आपके मूर्त को थापने के लिए मेरे ये छोटे से हृदय में स्थान नहीं है.
Garhwal is dotted with exclusive enclaves of meditation. Tapoban, overshadowed by Mount Shivling, is one such place where countless generations of ascetics have lived for centuries. Along with the pilgrims are the sadhus, some genuine seekers after truth, and some just people trying to make a living.
तो मेरा नाम जो है इसमें दंडी स्वामी हंसानंद तीर्थ है। मेरा बचपन का जीवन जो है शिक्षा का है, और मैंने जौनपुर में बनारस यूनिवर्सिटी में अपनी शिक्षा पाई है, और वहाँ से मैंने एमए डीलिट करने के बाद में थोड़े इसमें सेंट जोसेफ कॉलेज बॉम्बे में मैंने सर्विस की है। उसके बाद उसको छोड़ दिया, 9 ही दिन के बाद मैंने सर्विस छोड़ दी थी, और उसके बाद 7 के अंदर मैं फिर अपने घर गेस्ट में जम जाता हूँ, और वहाँ जाकर के मैंने फिर थीसिस सबमिट करता हूँ। थीसिस सबमिट करने के बाद डीलिट पाता हूँ, उसमें मेरी फैमिली लाइफ टर्मिनेट करती है, तो मैं वानप्रस्थ ज्वाइन लाइन जान जाता हूँ। अब वानप्रस्थ के बाद उसको कंप्लीट करने के बाद दंडक वन में मैं फिर हिमालय आकर के संन्यास का जीवन बिताता हूँ, और संन्यास लेने के बाद में भारत हिमालय में 34 वर्ष से हूँ, और उसके बाद मैं 6 महीने गोमुख में रहता हूँ, और 6 महीने में गंगोत्री में रहता हूँ। तो जब जाड़े का महीना होता है, बर्फ पड़ती है, तो मैं गोमुख चला जाता हूँ, और जब गर्मी आती है तो मैं गंगोत्री आ जाता हूँ।
बाबा जी, आपकी आयु कितनी?
मेरी आयु जो है इसमें 104 पार करके 105 में चल रहा हूँ।
105 में चल रहे हैं। लेकिन आप दिखने में तो 50 के आसपास।
अच्छा, इसलिए मेरी ये योगाभ्यास की जो लाइन होती है, अध्यात्म का जो जीवन होता है, आदमी की लाइफ जो होती है बिल्कुल जवानी की तरफ से आ जाती है। अब मैं समझता हूँ कि मैं थोड़े समय के अंदर में 40 जैसे लगूंगा।
तो आप गौमुख में 6 महीने सर्दी में जाते हैं, हाँ। उसका विशेष कारण क्या है?
उसका कारण कि मैं वहाँ बिल्कुल एकांत पाता हूँ, कोई मुझको बाधा डालने वाला होता नहीं। बर्फ के भीतर में रहकर जल के भीतर तपस्या करने का, किसी वस्तु को रियलाइज करने का बहुत सुंदर तरीका होता है, और जो वस्तु मुझे बाहर नहीं पाती है, वो जल की बर्फ जो सतोगुणी जल है, उसके अंदर में वस्तु को बहुत जल्दी प्राप्त कर लेता हूँ और आनंद की प्राप्ति करता हूँ।
The Kedarnath region is also known for the comparatively large numbers of the dog-like Mostus mustiferus, or the musk deer. The musk deer is believed to occupy a position somewhere between deer and antelope. This deer has a small form, no antlers, no facial glands, and what distinguishes it are the dog-like canines extending outside the mouth of the male. An elusive, reclusive species, musk deer is found in the higher temperate zone throughout the Himalayas. Living in solitary pairs in the alpine forests, they generally feed in the early morning and evening and lie concealed during the day and night. But even this elusiveness has not really helped the musk deer to survive in any considerable numbers. The culprit is the musk pod, situated under the abdomen of the male. This little pod is responsible for the slaughter of an entire species. The unfortunate animal has been hunted to near extinction for the sake of its valuable musk. Next week, we take a closer look at the eastern Garhwal Himalaya, the river basin of the Alaknanda and its major tributaries. The Garhwal Himalaya is truly the abode of the gods. But in spite of being an awe-inspiring place in terms of terrain and inaccessibility, the Garhwal Himalaya are nonetheless a very fragile ecosystem. The importance of these mountains for the people of India can hardly be calculated, for they are the wellspring of most of our major rivers, as well as being a determining factor in the making of North Indian weather. So next time you are up in this area, please spare some thought for this abode of the gods and do whatever is individually possible to avoid pollution and littering.